The Holy Spirit has different ways of guiding His children. Perhaps the most common is through an inner witness of the Spirit that we feel in our hearts. It's like a green light or a red light. It's like a feeling of peace where something just feels right, or we have a feeling where it just doesn't feel right. A friend of mine described it this way. He said it's like a bird trying to find a perch to land on, and it's fluttering around, but it just can't quite find a peaceful place for the sole of its foot. That's what it's like when God either gives you a witness of the Spirit for something or against something. But occasionally the Holy Spirit guides His children through something even stronger than that. It's a stronger actual voice of the Holy Spirit that comes in our heart. This happened to me one day. I was walking down the main street of Taree in New South Wales. I was planning to go and have a look at the river there. And as I got down the street, a strong inner voice of the Holy Spirit just arrested me. It said, "Stop, turn right here." So I turned right, and I got a little way up the street, and then I sat down wondering, well, why did you send me up this street, Holy Spirit? And then I looked up and I saw a radio station, and I knew straight away what the Holy Spirit wanted. So I immediately crossed the road and I walked in to the radio station, and the receptionist came out and asked me, "Yes, what can we do for you?" Well, to make a story short, we ended up preaching the gospel 3 times on 2 different radio stations. And this wasn't a Christian radio station, this was a purely secular radio station. And who's ever heard of a preacher just walking in off the street and being allowed to preach the gospel live over a secular radio station? But the Holy Spirit knew, and it was Him who guided me. After we finished preaching and singing live gospel music, when we walked out of the studio, one of the staff members came up to us and said, "Oh, look, all the hair on my head is standing up." They could feel the presence of the Holy Spirit even out the back room while Pastor Francis Bundock and I shared the gospel. And we had a good time sharing Jesus in the staff room after that. And it so happened that someone who was invited to one of our meetings, which was to take place later that week, heard us speaking on the radio. So it actually helped the ministry that we were doing in that town. You see, that was a strong, authoritative, clear voice of the Holy Spirit, something even stronger than the usual inner witness. And from time to time the Holy Spirit will choose to guide His children in this way, although not all the time. And it's up to Him which way He chooses to guide us at any given moment.